Hello, America. I'm Erick Erickson. These are the four things you need to know this afternoon, October 23rd, before you get home. Up first, Vladimir Putin is calling American sanctions on Russian oil, quote-unquote, unfriendly, and says he will aggressively respond. The President of the United States has placed sanctions on Russian oil and natural gas that's being sold around the world and is forcing the Russians to cut the price so that the penalties and sanctions that are imposed by the United States don't amount to more than what countries are paying right now. The problem is Europe is hard hit because the Europeans have been dependent on Russian oil and natural gas. In fact, they've given up their own power grid to the Russians. They've been sending more money to the Russians than they have been to Ukraine, and this changes the dynamic. The president penalizing European countries who choose to buy Russian oil and natural gas as opposed to, well, for example, American oil and natural gas. It comes as American energy prices are down because OPEC production has gone up. This comes at a perfect time to build more pressure on the Russians since Vladimir Putin has walked away from a peace talk that had been proposed for Budapest in Hungary. Up next, Democrats have voted to block pay for federal workers. The Democrats saying that nobody gets paid until the government is reopened. In fact, they believe that the president paying the military was unconstitutional, though they have chosen, curiously enough, not to fight that. They don't want to pay anybody other than themselves. Congress still gets paid during a government shutdown. Judges will get paid back pay. They're required to by the Constitution, but the judges are the only one who are required to always be paid. They'll get their paychecks when the government reopens. When will the government reopen? Nobody knows, but November 1st is coming, and that's when the SNAP program cuts benefits. It'll run out of money. Democrats believe they can hold the poor hostage to a government shutdown. It's not going to work. The Republicans are now digging in their heels, saying you reopen the government. We'll talk to you about health care, but not a moment before you reopen the government. Meanwhile, Catherine Clark, the number 2 Democrat in the House, her video interview yesterday is playing on repeat in front of the Speaker's office where she says shutting down the government was the only leverage the Democrats had, essentially admitting Democrats are the ones who shut it down. In a sign of the times, Rivian has laid off more than 600 workers amid its pullback or walk back on electric vehicles. Americans are not buying as many electric vehicles. Now the government subsidies are going away. It's directly impacting Rivian, which makes a very nice product. It makes an SUV that actually looks like an SUV, unlike Tesla's. It makes a truck that looks like a truck, unlike Tesla's. A lot of people who don't like Tesla anymore because of Elon Musk have really bought into Rivian. I see their trucks and SUVs frequently now, but they're struggling as so many EV makers are struggling because without government subsidies, it is revealed the EV market was kind of a false market. People buying because of government inducement. Otherwise, the vehicles are too expensive. Lastly, Donald Trump has decided to pardon crypto billionaire Changpeng Zhao of Binance. The Biden administration charged and prosecuted the man for Binance and all sorts of financial impropriety. Donald Trump, of course, deciding he'll help this guy out. He's been viewing a lot of the prosecutions of Joe Biden as political witch hunts. Interestingly enough, Changpeng Zhao has been helping the Trump family with their crypto purchases and the design of their cryptography and crypto alliances that they've entered. A lot of people screaming corruption. I don't understand crypto. It's why I don't invest in crypto. I got a lot of friends of mine. They're all bros who think that crypto is great and they're libertarians and crypto is the future and it's better than fiat currency. Look, they're making money at it to a degree. I don't get it. I refuse to invest in it. I don't quite understand what Binance did. They did get found guilty by a jury, but Trump's decided to undo it. Yes, there are ties between the guy and the Trump family. So the Democrats will scream corruption. All I know is that basically if you're a prominent person and you were indicted and prosecuted by Joe Biden, the odds are Donald Trump is probably going to pardon you. So lots more pardon applications in the works. Those are the four things you need to know this afternoon. You may know more about Binance and what they did than me, and I'm not going to try to figure it out because, frankly, I don't care about crypto. I think a lot of people are going to lose their shirts eventually. Maybe me for not investing in it. That's just how I feel. You can feel differently, and it's okay. Now, please stay engaged and stay informed. Please keep the faith. I'll talk to you tomorrow.